Welcome to Let's Talk About It. A podcast gives a platform for real talk, real people, real topics, real conversations. Please subscribe, like, comment, enjoy this journey, and enjoy this ride. Welcome to this week's episode. Welcome, everybody, to Let's Talk About It. A podcast is a platform for real talk, real people, real topics, real conversations. Thank you so much to the thousands of subscribers I have so far. Please like, comment, share. I appreciate you. For the people who's watching for the first time, please like this podcast. Go on my podcast. Let's talk about it with Lou J. If you like something, please like, share, subscribe. It helps me out, puts me in a different algorithm. You know, my podcast, like I said, it's like a menu. It's like when you walk into a restaurant. Like you got a menu, you can have chicken, fish, tacos, whatever. That's how my podcast is. It goes all over the place. We talk about everything. And now before we talk about the topic of today, I would like to talk about first the 4 episodes I got coming out this December. 4 great episodes coming out. Number one, a friend of mine, Amy, came on, talk about her old military days to where it affected that she needed a service dog. A lot of us see service dogs, maybe in the airport, walking around town, and she's going to break down a comparison of having a service dog and the difference between a service dog and a companion dog. Then we got my friend Joe Summers. You know, she was on my earlier podcast. She has a podcast called Breakfast of Choices. And, from rock bottom to rock solid. You know, she talks about the tail end of her journey and how she started this amazing podcast, which is fantastic. It's a great story. Then we have my co-host of Wrestle Talk, a wrestling program we have on here, Mario Castro, Beyond the Scale. You know, his incredible weight loss journey, his ups, his downs, his struggles, his demons. Everybody has some type of ups and downs of weight loss journeys. Great story. Friend of mine, Courtney Denise, came on to talk about mental health. You know, it should be talked about more often. You know, but this is a little spin on it this time because I did not know, we talked about this exclusively, that Native Americans has the top mental health in the nation. And we're going to find out about that too. But that's 4 episodes right there. It's coming out this December. Now, let's talk about this episode here. We're talking about food waste. Food waste globally. Okay, I'm a stats guy. You know, people who's been following me. I have other podcasts with stats. The stats I came up with food waste around the world is astounding. You know, we just gonna have a regular conversation, ladies and gentlemen. You know, what my podcast is about. It's unscripted. You know, we just have a regular conversation. So let's dive into it. It's crazy. Again, please guys, like, subscribe, give a comment, puts me in a different algorithm. Let's enjoy this show here together. Okay, let's hit it off. Food waste, ladies and gentlemen, globally around the world. You know, we're just having a regular conversation here. Let's kick it off. As of 2023, like last year, but you know, it's about to be 24, so the stats of 24 didn't come out yet. But as of 2023, there are over 1.0 billion tons of food wasted. Wasted. Hear me? That's 1.05 billion tons of food wasted. This is globally. Globally. Over a third of all foods produced, that's around 2.5 billion tons, right, is lost or wasted each year. Lost, like lost and found, or wasted each year. Okay? Over a third of food globally. That's 2.5 billion tons, okay? You know, I work in the food industry, delivering the food industry. I see places, I see people, you know, waste food all the time. You know, ladies and gentlemen, food waste, you know, we'll get into it later on. There's a lot of homeless people out there. The hunger problems is out there all around the world. You know, let's package it up. Let's give it to the homeless. They're out in the streets. I know it's a big problem around the world. I'm just putting my little PSA out there. Let's get to it, guys. Okay? Check this out. 1/3 of all food produced is lost or wasted. Around 1.3 billion tons of food. That's costing global economy close to 940 billion each year. So everything, so you're like producing all this food, you're losing food. So a third of that, right? A third of all food produced, you're losing it or wasting it. You know, it's a $940 billion hit global economy. Not just in the United States, but it's around the world. You just wasted that. So you might as well just take $940 billion, throw in a big ass like the Grand Canyon over here in the States, and just burn it. That's what just happened. That's just food waste. 940 billion per year. Wasted. Just blow it up. Just get rid of it. Just burn it up. That's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna ask you a question. There's 3 countries out there who wastes the most food each each year. It's crazy. This is since like what 2000. Well, the last 2 years. I'm sorry, going 3 years. There's 3 countries who waste the most food around the world. Number 3, United States. The United States has wasted 24 million tons of food. 24 million tons of food per year since 22. Okay? Wow, that's a lot of damn food. Number 2, right, is India. India has wasted 78 million tons of food per year since 2022. 78 million. That's a lot of food. Okay. Number 1, ladies and gentlemen, China. China has wasted 108 million tons of food per year since 2022. Wow. United States, India, China has wasted a lot of food. Do the math. I don't know. What's that? It's over 200 million between them 3 countries. You know, I mean, goodness, I mean, we wasted billions around the world. You know what I mean? This is crazy. They're the highest 3 countries per year since 2022. That's crazy. Another question for you, ladies and gentlemen. What percentage of the food, what percentage of food is wasted globally? Like, what's the percentage of the food wasted globally? What's that percentage? You know, I'm a stats guy. Some of you probably stats people too. So I found out 19% of food is wasted globally. 19% of food is wasted globally. Okay? So, as of that effect, you'll have 783 million. In fact, 783 million face chronic hunger. Chronic hunger. Wow. Crazy. If it wasn't wasted, if you could have gave it away, 783 million people could have eaten. You know what I mean? That's globally. You know, mankind, ladies and gentlemen, human race. Let's all be together. 40% of produce, that's your fruits and vegetables and shit like that. By weight now, is lost or wasted worldwide every year. So they go back like apples, oranges, lettuce, broccoli, fruits and vegetables. Just go wasted. 40% per year globally. Globally. It's a lot of waste in produce. So think about it. Okay. You're growing it on the farm, nice and right. You might have some organic stuff. Takes all that time to actually like produce this. Think about the farmers. It take time and effort. I know a couple farmers. It's a lot of hard work doing that shit. 40% of what they grow and sell and distribute to other people, consumers or markets or companies, it's gonna be wasted. Now you probably figure, okay, well they got paid for it, but still in the back, the heartache, it's a lot of waste there. Okay, that leads me into my next one. Okay, who is the biggest contributor to waste globally? Who's the biggest contributors to waste globally? As they say, I'm just bringing it up. This is research. This is recorded. This is stats. This is like online everywhere. Okay. The biggest contributors for this is supermarkets, restaurants, and consumers. They waste the most food. They're the biggest contributor. Supermarkets, restaurants, and consumers. I would give different opinions about this and that. I know everybody got to make their money. Restaurants got to stay in business. Supermarkets got to supply food. Maybe it's over ordering, I don't know, or something, but it has to be a better way how to do this system and try and get it down. Okay? And maybe these countries can teach other countries. Maybe introduce it to you. Which country or countries does not waste food? South Korea has almost zero waste in food. South Korea. They have almost zero waste in food. Wow. Their consumers in supermarkets and restaurants, I don't know what they do, but they do something over there. You know what I'm saying? They do something. This is one interesting one. It was crazy. It was Japan. Japan has been fighting the food waste with legislation since 2001. Okay? When the government introduced the Food Waste Recycling Act. So since 2001, they've been fighting with the legislation over there, and they recycle their food. Like South Korea. I don't know if they got an act over there, but they have zero, almost zero. According to Japan, they have none. They recycle their food or do something else with it, or they eat it. They're disciplined. I don't know what it is, this and that, but maybe the United States and India and China can learn from them. I don't know. Let's find out. But South Korea and Japan have basically zero food waste. Wow. Like, okay, and this is something that's out there. It's just documented. Everything's documented. You know? Let's go. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. What is the main cause of food waste? What's the main cause of food waste? Okay. They say equipment malfunction is one of them. I get it. Machine breaks down. It might be an assembly line and it stops and or whatever, doesn't do something right. I don't know. They give example such as faulty cold storage. I get it. I work in the food industry. They have cold storage. Sometimes food goes bad. It just, what I mean? It happens. Over ordering. I see it all the time. People over order. They might guesstimate like a bigger crowd or bigger people buying food. It's kind of hard to guesstimate that sometimes. It's like hit or miss. Depends on the season, depends on the event, whatever. Depends how hungry people are. And blemished produce, like rotten apples or whatever. Like, having fruit sitting out too long and just gets, or not put in the right storage area. Overheating in the heating area. You got to keep in a cooler temperature. When you have produce, you have foods, you had to keep in a cooler temperature. It might not be in the right temperature. It had to be in the frozen temperature. If you have a cooler product, it has to be like 40 degrees. It can't go above 40 degrees. Okay, it can't go above 40 degrees. Frozen product has to be under zero. That's how it is. It's frozen product. It has to be 0 to zero point zero 0.05 or 0.10 for your frozen product. Cooler can't be above over 40 degrees. That's, your milks, your cheeses, your eggs, your produce. Maybe they, that's just fun fact. That's what, so right there. So you got food you want storage or something like that. If it's frozen product, negative degrees, 0 to negative. Now you can get away with 5, maybe 4 degrees, maybe 10 degrees. Get away with that so much. But you want to try and keep it down at negative degrees. Now, if you have produce or meats or cheeses or milks, it has to be under 40 degrees. I say like around a 30 to 40 round range, 30, 40 degrees, it'd be perfect. It doesn't it keeps it nice and cool, keeps it fresh, it doesn't freeze it. Just a little tip for you, right? Okay, let's continue. What are some foods wasted the most? These are some of the foods around the world that are wasted the most. We got potatoes, which I'm a potato guy. I love me some damn potatoes. But I don't waste mine, I eat mine. Bread. A lot of us, a lot of people, they'll buy bread and they'll make a couple sandwiches and the other half was it. Right? Or a lot of us will let that little top part hang out. The little top part of bread nobody eats. It's just a waste. Eat it. It's part of bread. Just eat it. Okay. Apples. People will buy, like, they'll say get a bundle of apples. They'll eat a couple and just let it sit out or just go rotten. Rice. People make too much rice and they toss out the rest of it. Leafy greens, cabbage, collard greens, stuff like that. Too much of that. Milk. How it is. Some people buy a gallon of milk, and a lot of people don't drink milk. They don't drink it that much. You have a bowl of cereal or something like that, maybe a couple times a week, but you throwing out the milk. Watch what you do. Maybe cut the milk down to half. And cheese. A lot of people buy in bulk, but they waste a lot of cheese. Goes moldy. Those are some of the foods that's wasted the most. Those are top foods right there. It's crazy that, especially bread. 'Cause I'm a bread guy. I love some bread. And I'm not gonna lie, I try to eat as much as I can because you can't buy a half bread. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta try and space it out. Man, I gotta do a better job with that as well. I've wasted some bread every now and then. But after learning all this, my food shopping and everything else is going to be changed up. Well, I'm going to be a little bit smarter about how I have food. Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Also, please like, subscribe, comment to this podcast. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's continue. The top U.S. states that waste the most food. These are the top states in the United States that waste the most food. You're going to love this list. It's crazy. These are the top states that waste the most food: Arizona, North Dakota, Hawaii, Nevada, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Georgia. These are the states, statistically, that waste the most food in the United States. This is since 2022. They waste the most food. Again, Arizona, North Dakota, Hawaii, Nevada, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Georgia, the Bulldog State. They said they have wasted the most food. So people in those states, let's try and get that down. Let's try and not, waste food. I know it's tough. People like to eat a lot, man, like to overcook. I know a couple people in Georgia like to cook a lot. Let's just try and get that down. That's it. It's something I want to put that out there to those states, especially states in right here in the United States. This is a question right here, ladies and gentlemen. that's very interesting. Remember when I said China was number one in food waste around the world? So, question out there: why does China waste so much food? They're number one in wasting food, right? This is what they have. It is part of the Chinese culture that when eating out, hosts traditionally order more food rather less to show hospitality to their guests. Hmm. So they'll order more. They'll order more to be hospitable to their guests. Wow, it's tradition. I know in China they're very traditional, but that's their reason. That's the reason why they waste so much food. Again, it is part of the Chinese culture that when eating out, the host traditionally orders more food rather less to show hospitality to their guests. Okay, that's the reason. They it's tradition, I guess. That's all I can really say. Let me know what you think. Let's get on to something new here. This is interesting what I found out. Which countries has the cleanest food? The cleanest. I know it's off topic of food waste, but it came up. I was like, clean food, like no HMOs or no, antibiotic steroids or whatever they put in all these Netflix stuff to be watched, But these countries right here, these five countries have the cleanest foods of all the world. It is Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland. So if you're on vacation or if you live in those countries, wow, you have the cleanest foods. If you guys go on vacation, you want to check out these foods. They got the cleanest foods in the world. I know it's something extra I add to. I know it's not food waste, but I guess, and also I know two of these countries have the lowest amount of food waste as well, just like Japan and South Korea. I know Sweden and Denmark is at the bottom of the list. So, they have less food waste as well. And also they have the cleanest food in the world too. Go figure. Okay, let's move on. Which country is it which country is it where it's illegal to waste food? There's one country in the whole world where it is illegal to waste food. Ladies and gentlemen, it is France. France is the leader when it comes to attacking food waste at the legislative level. In 2016, the country made it illegal for retailers to throw away food. Illegal. Wow. Maybe some other countries should think about that shit too. You know what I mean? But France made it illegal. They make it legally. They went to legislature. They was like, nah, nah, nah. Y'all throw away a crumb. Y'all throw away a French fry. Oh no, no, that's not French fry. Yeah, I mean, if y'all throw away a grape poupon or whatever they was over there, anything in France, you know, you probably get locked up. I don't know the penalty, anything over there, but you can look that up yourself. But it was very, very crazy how it is illegal to throw any away in France. Okay, let's continue, guys. Which country, and this is something, you know, off topic here. Which country eats the least amount of junk food? It's a little combined thing. It was something just to throw it out there. Which country eats the least amount of junk food? Junk food is very bad. We all eat them. I know I do. I try to stay away from it, but junk food is very, very bad. But this country, like the other five countries, they're the cleanest. But this country right here eats the least amount of junk food. You're not gonna find no candy, no McDonald's or or Burger King or none of that shit over there. It is Singapore. The Singapore, their cuisine does not include processed or sugary foods. Their food consists of mainly poultry, seafood, rice, and noodles. Hear that? No processed, no sugary foods. Wow. In Singapore. I guess that's another clean country you can go to. If you're in Singapore, you're not gonna have no junk food. You go eat clean. So Singapore is another country. That is crazy. It's not food waste, but they probably don't waste no food over there either. As far as I know they was like kind of low to this food of not wasting food. Okay, let's continue, guys. What do scientists say about food waste? This is what scientists say. Maybe you're a scientist out there or whatever. This is what scientists say. This is what a lot of scientists. They have the same generalization. When we waste food, we also waste all the energy and water it takes to grow, harvest, transport, and package it. Just plain and simple. It's a waste. Like what I said earlier. It's what scientists are saying. All type of food. It takes time and energy and growth and transportation. When you're wasting billions and millions of tons of food per year, it's a wasted. This is scientists saying this. I said it earlier, but I'm not a scientist, but you can label me a scientist now. I don't know. You know what I mean? Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Here's something for you. Where does food waste go? That's a good question, right? Out of the billions and millions of food waste, where does it go? Where does it go? Right? Let's check this out. This is what I found out. Food waste that is not recycled may be sent to a landfill where it rots. So, if that food is not being recycled, like Japan does, obviously, it goes to a landfill and it sits there and rots. Now, I wonder what happens to the soil with rotten food. I don't know. Like, you know what? I should have did my little Scooby Doo Blues Clues investigation on that. You know what I mean? But you know what? Maybe future episode we'll talk about that later on. But damn, think about that. If it's not recycled, it goes into a landfill, it just rots away. It just rots away. Like all the food waste. All the food that they throw out, it goes to a landfill, it just sits there and waste. Wow. Is that poison the ground or something like that? I don't know. You know what I mean? Think about all the chemicals and process shit. All mixed together. That's crazy, right? Okay. We almost at the end here, ladies and gentlemen. We have here now the junk food I said earlier, right? What country does it eat the most junk food? Here in the United States, what state eats the most junk food? Now, don't be mad at me now, the people down there. It's Louisiana. Don't be mad at it, brother. It's just they said Louisiana has the most junk food. Maybe Popeyes is, the best thing that Louisiana cuisine. I cut back Popeyes chicken. I don't eat it anymore, but it was good when I ate it. Them beans and rice and that chicken was really good. But they say Louisiana is number one in the country in eating habits. Number one. Wow. I don't know how accurate this is. This is just something that's out there. It's out there. It's crazy, right? I was kind of wild with this. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, there's one country. What country? It's crazy. It's a little ad in. What country is number one in food? Like overall, tasting, uh, chemical free, all this stuff. In food. There's one country that's number one in all food categories. It's Italy. Which I've been there. Trust me. It's some good food. they got to put a little more spices and a little bland here and there. I mean, like, especially in Capri, they don't got this, maybe they got to put a little extra one to it. But Italy's just a beautiful country. Capri, Sorrento, Florence, Rome, well, some parts of Rome. Pisa. It's awesome over there. But they have the number one food, and I've been over there. There's some good ass food over there. I can see why they're number one. It's one of the cleanest countries too. So yeah, they're number one, guys. Number one is Italy. To all my Italians out there, Italian descent, you got number one food out there. Okay. What are 5 ways to reduce food waste? What are 5 ways we can reduce food waste? Okay, gotta be some ways, right? So this is what they suggested: 5 ways to reduce food waste. Okay, number one, buying food items in the required quantities only. Yeah, don't overbuy. If you need this amount, buy this amount. If I understand, sometimes there's a sale, like get two, buy one, get one free. I get all that, but they're saying stick to the required quantities. Okay. Number two, avoid unnecessary cooking. Overcooking that thing, I guess. Unnecessary cooking. Number three, keeping leftover food in the refrigerator. Okay, I get it. That's what majority of us do. I do it all the time. But a lot of us are guilty. We'll put leftovers in there. We'll have like me, like the old school me. Like, I mean, like, I don't know. I come from the city, like, I mean, we usually lose like the top of Tupperware. So we just put a little foil on that shit. throw it inside the refrigerator. That's what we really do. But yeah, a lot of us don't eat the leftovers. It'll sit there. We'll make something new or eat something new. A lot of us don't do. But I know now, recently, I have been eating a lot of leftovers after I make food because, times are tough, man. The economy's fucked up. I'm not gonna get into what I hope it changes in January. They say it's gonna change, so let's find out. But yeah, I do eat my leftovers, but they say keeping leftover food in the refrigerator. Number four, trying to reuse leftovers by making new recipes. Hmm. So you want to use the leftovers that we have, try something new to freshen it up. Okay, I get it. I mean, you want to try. You have some leftover spaghetti, you might want to put something else with it and whatever. I don't know. Try a new recipe. Try something new. To try out the food waste. I get it. It's actually a pretty good idea. Keep checking, keep a check on appetite before serving food. Keeping a check on an appetite before serving food. Hmm. That's true. Yeah, because a lot of people will say, like, like, yeah, like, I'm gonna make dinner, and then they make that food, and they ain't hungry. They give it to them, like, I'm not hungry or whatever. You gotta make sure, they ready to eat. Because sometimes they like, all right, fine, I'm just gonna toss this shit away, like whatever, or they don't eat or whatever. Just make sure they're good, they're hungry, they're ready to eat, whatever. That's what they're saying. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it right there for food waste. I hope you like this. Please comment, share, like. These are just stats that, like, what I mean, I like to do every now and then. Like I said, I'm a stats guy. I love stats. Um, I think information is key. Some of us, because a lot of this stuff I never knew. And maybe some of you guys will, see what I'm seeing too. Have better food waste habits. I've learned more trying not to waste foods. We got billions, guys, like over a billion per year wasted. Tons, like tons of food. It adds up to millions of dollars, billions of dollars. And the economy is kind of bad. I don't know it's here in the United States, but I know it's kind of bad around the world too, according to this. Let's try not to waste food. Let's try, work together and, be more responsible and this and that with the food. If you like what I'm talking about, please like, subscribe, comment, share. Thank you for this journey. Season 2. I'm gonna jump ahead of you. Season 2 is coming out in January. Got brand new, brand new stuff coming out. I'm doing a lot more history facts that a lot of people don't even know. Got great guests coming out, different topics. But if you have a topic that you want to talk about, if you have a journey that you want to discuss that can help anybody, you can reach me at let's talk about it _71 at yahoo.com. That's let's talk about it _71 at yahoo.com. Okay. If you want to come on the podcast, you have a story or a journey, if you want to talk about a topic, if you want to bring up your own stats, come on down. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I want everybody to have a good weekend. I know, have a good turkey day. Hope everybody's this and that. Don't waste no food. Have a great week. See you soon. Peace. Thank you for watching the show. Please like, subscribe, comment. Stay tuned next week for another exciting episode on Let's Talk About It.